the ship broke in half, and the ocean decided who would live. The date was September 22, 2015. The cargo ship Ardent Star was cutting through the Indian Ocean under a moonless sky, carrying steel coils and machinery from Singapore to South Africa. 41 crew members were on board, men who had spent their lives at sea and trusted it the way others trust solid ground. The weather report predicted mild waves, nothing unusual, but at 2:37 a.m., the ocean changed its mind. Without warning, the ship slammed into a rogue wave taller than a 10-story building. Metal screamed. Containers snapped loose like toys. A second wave followed, even larger, crashing directly across the midsection of the vessel. In less than 30 seconds, the Ardent Star split in two. The bow vanished almost instantly, swallowed by black water. The stern remained afloat, tilting sharply, its engines screaming as they tore free. Men were thrown into the sea, crushed by debris, or dragged under by suction. The night filled with screams that were quickly ripped away by wind and waves. Chief Engineer Daniel Rocha surfaced choking, his arm burning with pain. Around him floated oil, broken wood, and bodies that no longer moved. The ship that had been their world was gone. By instinct alone, Daniel grabbed a floating metal grate and pulled himself onto it. Nearby, 5 others did the same, strangers bound together by survival rather than names. The waves were relentless, slamming them together, tearing skin, breaking ribs. One man lost his grip and disappeared silently, pulled into darkness without even a scream. The ocean did not pause. As dawn approached, only 4 remained. They drifted endlessly, burned by sun during the day, frozen by wind at night. Salt ate into their wounds. Thirst became torture. On the second day, one man began drinking seawater. By evening, he was delirious, laughing, crying, then convulsing violently before going still. On the third day, a miracle appeared: a partially inflated lifeboat, torn from its davits during the wreck. They clawed their way inside, collapsing onto the rubber floor. Inside were 2 emergency flares, a rusted knife, and a single half bottle of water. They divided it into 3 mouthfuls each. It barely wet their tongues, but it reminded them what hope tasted like. The sun became their enemy, skin blistered and peeled, lips split open and bled. One of them, a young deckhand named Amir, whispered constantly about his mother, his voice growing weaker with each hour. That night, waves slammed the lifeboat violently. Amir was thrown overboard. Daniel reached for him and caught only air. The ocean took him like it had taken the others, without explanation, without mercy. Now only 2 remained: Daniel and a cook named Matteo, a quiet man with hollow eyes. They stopped speaking to save strength. They stared at the horizon until it felt unreal, like a painted wall that would never change. On the 5th day, Matteo stopped waking up. Matteo never opened his eyes. Daniel was alone. Isolation broke something deep inside him. He saw ships that weren't there. He heard voices calling his name. Each time he forced himself to blink, the hallucinations vanished, leaving only endless blue. On the 7th day, clouds gathered. Rain began to fall, soft at first, then heavy. Daniel laughed hysterically and used his shirt to collect the water, drinking until his stomach cramped. The rain saved him, but it also brought a storm. Waves flipped the lifeboat repeatedly. He tied himself to it with rope torn from the boat's interior. At one point, a wave slammed him underwater for so long that he accepted death. When he surfaced again, gasping, he cried not from relief but from exhaustion at still being alive. On the 9th day, a cargo plane passed overhead. Daniel fired the last flare. It burned bright red against the sky and was gone. The plane never changed course. Something inside him died quietly. He stopped hoping. He focused only on breathing, on surviving one more minute, then one more. On the 10th night, the sea finally calmed. Daniel lay staring at the stars, barely aware of his own body. When morning came, he didn't notice the fishing vessel until it was almost beside him. He thought it was another hallucination until he heard shouting, real voices, rough and loud. Hands grabbed him, lifted him, and the lifeboat drifted away, empty at last. Daniel survived 10 days adrift in open ocean. He weighed 18 kilograms less than when he went in. His kidneys were damaged. His skin never fully healed. Of the 41 crew members of the Ardent Star, only 1 lived. Years later, Daniel returned to land permanently. He never went back to sea, but sometimes when he stands on a quiet shore, he feels it, the pull, the memory, the endless patience of the ocean. And he knows the truth most survivors learn too late. The sea doesn't chase you, it waits.